And welcome back to Justin Talks Villa with a man I've been trying to interview for about 5 months since I started the podcast. But he's so busy, as we're going to find out today why, that it's been hard to pin him down to a date. But we've finally made it.
We're here.
We've got it. So Ruth, thanks so much for inviting me to yours and having a chat with me today.
Welcome to my humble abode.
Yes, it's beautiful. Yeah, really nice. So we're going to do it in sort of 3 parts. We're going to have a quick chat about you and your life and your music and your business, obviously tattooing. You wouldn't know you're into tattooing.
Never know, would you?
No, you'd never know. And then obviously we're going to talk about what I have sort of hinted at as the best bit of Villa Memorabilia. I haven't even seen it yet.
No.
That I have seen pictures of it that I think I've ever even seen. So
it's a special one.
It is, yeah. And it must be a good story. So I'm going to wait for that story. And then we're going to finish on, I'm going to say, because I've seen it, the greatest shirt collection any Aston Villa fan
probably 3% of it, to be fair,
ever put together.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a shirt collector, but this is a shirt collection.
Well, you asked me to pull out my favourite bits, and I couldn't pick out more than, well, what we got there, 20?
Yeah.
And I was
just off
gutted out to
camera.
leave a load more.
Yeah,
So.
I think we might be doing a follow-up to this, to be honest. If this one goes well, we'll be doing another follow-up. I think his biggest problem is trying to let me go without taking half of these shirts with me, to be fair. And I'll probably fit into some of them now as well. So we'll start with, obviously we're in your...
Happy place, my studio.
Your studio, yeah. So obviously a lot of people know you for your music, but you've been telling me before we started that you're going back into your music again now.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people now in the music industry realise that this is what I've always done, because I've always been very Birmingham based, and business has never really looked any better than Vivid Ink does for me. I've tried and tested restaurants. We had a chain of restaurants for 5 years. It was always a big thing I wanted to do, but then very quickly realised how much labour intensive it was. Stress every single day, Christmas Day, too much, of course you do.
Food industry.
And then when it got to, lockdown changed everything. It's like, right, that doesn't work. We opened Roller Jam in Digbeth, which was brilliant at first. Quickly realised that the skating community don't drink alcohol, and that's what it really needed for a venue of that size. Yeah. We started to do a couple of events in there, and I just found myself getting dragged back into that whole club, promoting thing, which I don't want to do. But music's something I've always wanted to do and I've always enjoyed. So I was like, right, I played a couple of gigs, really felt that passion was back again. I've got a lot of friends still in the industry, a lot of connections. So it just kind of made sense. I made a track, called Let's Groove. It did, moderately well. Got the bug for studio again, set up a studio, made another couple of tracks, one of which I'm sure you've seen. Cole Cox has been championing. Cole Cox, for me, arguably, with the music that I produce and put out there and DJ and play, it's the biggest DJ in the world for that music. If Cole plays, it's a certified banger. So he played it at the opening of Universe, the biggest club in the world, 15,000 people. On the opening night, I was at Vivid Ink actually in Derby, just working, middle of the day. I've been watching, the whole launch, because the club has been spoken about for a long time. And my phone's going nuts, and I'm sitting talking to a client with an artist. My phone's ping, 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 ping. Normally, that's Low Stepper. If he's watching, he'll know exactly what it is. It's one of them who just can't send one message. It's like ding, 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 ding. Sorry, that's one sentence. Anyway, so I'm thinking that's him, and then my phone rings, and it's my mate George, and he's like, mate, look at your Instagram quick. And I'm like, what? Cole Cox just played your track at Universe, and I'm like, mate, it's midday. He went, yeah. It's until midday today. It started yesterday. It's gone all through the night into the morning. I'm here and he's just closed the whole thing. And I'm like, no, he hasn't. And I'm thinking, so what it is the original riff of it. It's from a track from 25 years ago. And I'm thinking, at the end of the night, he's played the original. It ain't my record. I'm not going to get too excited. So I got on Instagram, 5 or 6 videos. People were there, sent me videos. And then I hear Sheena, who's the vocalist, on it. I hear a voice and I'm like, wow, goosebumps straight away. I'm like, it's actually playing my record. Following that, throughout the day, more videos emerge. There's a drone flies over the whole club, turns around, comes back. These are priceless things as a producer who's been grafting all their, for 30 years, haven't even had. So then Yeah, I'm like, right, how do I follow this up now? And following that, he closed it again the following week with the same record, played at Space Riccione in Italy. How do I follow this up? So I created a record called The Creator, made a record called The Creator, which I'm thinking, he could be standing there, arms aloft, Jesus, I'm the creator, this is my house, he could open with this. Pot luck, send it to him, he plays it the following week. So it's kind of like spiraled from there. We've got a track. That track's also been signed to Tool Room. I'm releasing that with fellow Villa fans, Low Stepper and Reza. So yeah, Nathan Dorr actually played it at his gig at Icon last week. So made by Villa fans, played by a Villa fan, and I tagged Ian Taylor saying, Ian, you'll be proud of this one, mate. And then he shared it. So there's a right storyline behind that. So we're going to put a little post out about that soon. And yeah, it's just kind of gone from strength to strength. Big bookings are coming in now. Like I say, I've been doing it for a long time.
So it's almost like a full circle then, because obviously 100%. You started doing the music, and then the Vivid Ink stuff erupted, and you've done. That's fantastic. What a business that is. I mean, my Villa tattoo is thanks to Vivid Ink and CISO.
You said so, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. I am going to book in again. I've got another couple of ideas. I think I might be going for a full sleeve.
Cool, do it.
I think I might be going for nice. That's. I'm 49 now, so it's time to just delve into it. So you've done all your other business things, and then you've come back to music, and it seems like you're just going to smash it now.
It kind of, I mean, you never know. I think the thing that's going for me is I'm not desperate for it.
No.
I kind of set my life up. I wanted to set my family. Everything was in place, and I just needed I felt something was missing. I need something else as a passion hobby.
Yeah.
That's what this started to be. Didn't expect to get the success it's had already. If it ends tomorrow, great. You know, I've got what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly, but you're there now.
But I do feel there's a bit of magic in the air, and it seems like every single day something new's coming up, and it's just snowballing every day. Like, I'm getting big labels emailing me, can we have a chat about your future releases? If you've got anything for us, we want to release with you. So it's really working, and big bookings. I'm playing Clockwork Orange in London. Andy Manston messaging me through a podcast I actually did at the Blues Ground. If anyone saw that, I am so sorry for everybody for that.
You have to bring them into this podcast.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've just got over that one. But yeah, following that, Andy Manston asked for my number, phoned me up, said we want to get you down to London, and they're sort of gigs I want to be playing. It's they're epic shows.
Do you know what? Listening to you, I mean, we're about the same age, and everything you've just said totally resonates with me, because this is my
your
music.
Passion hobby, yeah, of course.
This is honestly, like, listening to you now. I run a business in Sutton, which is successful. It's a nice little business.
It's a great business.
I've got a lovely family like you. Kids.
Yeah.
And I didn't think something was missing, but I just felt like I wanted to do something with my life.
Yeah.
And this is this.
And you're good at it as well.
Thanks, mate.
Which helps.
I'll give them tenner after. So I totally resonate with what you're saying. You're now doing something you absolutely love doing.
Definitely.
And one of my questions was, I don't know if I'll ever get this feeling, although I'm going to ask you, I'm going to come to one of your gigs.
Yeah.
What is it like standing behind that desk? You've just said about that drone footage, and is that on your social media?
It is, yeah.
So if you go over to Rude's social media, you'll see that. So having that drone going over the top of the DJ, and my daughters love that kind of music, and they go to a lot of gigs. When you've got that tune on, which is your tune, and you're playing it to all them people, what does that feel like?
It's great. I mean, I always wanted to be a DJ purely because I remember being on the other side of the decks when I first ever went to a gig. It was like Exile. Do you remember Exile back in the day?
No, I didn't remember.
It's in Birmingham. It's I think it's now Snubs. And I remember Pete Sheriff, his name is, was DJing, and he was doing all this scratching. I remember thinking, I want to be that guy that can make everybody move.
And make everyone have those feelings.
Yeah.
You know, Ibiza, all that.
I mean, we're talking about the times, which was like Faithless.
Insomnia.
Yeah. So things like that were being played, and it's like, those tracks are pure euphoria. I mean, it's probably not quite the same drops now, but just having that and that feeling experience, I was like, that's what I want to do. So now not only just DJing and doing that thing, but then also seeing not only myself play these tracks, but people like the biggest DJ in the world play those tracks to so many people and watching it go off. Yeah, there's no better feeling. Like I say, goosebumps the second I saw that drone. I'm like, wow, that's my music playing.
I'll tell you what we've seen as well recently, and I'm going this weekend to watch Oasis.
Yeah.
Totally different type of music.
I'm fuming.
Sorry,
I was
mate.
in Cyprus.
I'll send you a video.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate that.
But you've seen like Wembley, especially. I'm going to Wembley. And I know it's totally different type of music, but it's the same feeling, isn't
100%.
it? When that music starts, everybody's in, and you just lose yourself, don't you? Lose yourself in the music. There you go, Eminem.
It takes you back to the good day. You think back to those days like Oasis and all that. They were great. They were great days. It was probably the best times of our lives, and we didn't realise it at the time. What I'm doing now is I'm producing music that regurgitates that. So a lot of my music has got old school influence. Taking people back, and also the new kids coming through, there's like a 90s element to my music, and what I'm finding is the older ones who are still coming out remember those records, but then the kids have listened to these records in their mums and dad's cars, in the house, then playing it, because they played that music all their life. They know the words. So you're there DJing. I played the other day somewhere, and you're playing like obscure tracks, and they know they're singing it. And I'm like, how do you know this? And when you speak to one or two of them, they're like, yeah, my mum plays all the time. I'll listen to this in the back of a car, and that's kind of why it's working, I think. And this sound that I'm making, recreating, is working. So,
but I think that this is why probably it's working so well, is that you've had that life experience and you've got to this point now where you've gone back into it. So all that you've taken now is now feeding into this music.
Yeah.
So maybe if you'd have just carried on all the way through, you wouldn't have had
100%
the feeling you're having now.
If I carried on, I wouldn't be doing it now. At the end of the day, I probably would have got bored and left. So having that few years away from it, putting on the odd event, which was taking people back to the old stuff. We used to do spin, rock and roll. We used to do a once a year thing for charity. We actually raised approximately £10,000 a year for Birmingham Children's Hospital by doing our house rave. We continued doing that, so I was still kind of keeping myself there slightly and DJing at that. But yeah, I do genuinely believe that rest give me the time to reset, think about it, and
come at it from a different angle.
Full circle, 100%. So that's me as a DJ and music, and also as my style of music, it's 100% full circle. Great title for an EP.
You can have it.
Full circle.
Just 2% royalties. 2% royalties. That's all I ask for. It's on camera now, so you can't get away with it. But I mean, bringing it back to Villa. Obviously, this is a Villa podcast, but there's a big community of Villa DJs, isn't there? We were talking before. There's you, Low Stepper, Chris Lorenzo, and Nathan Dorr. Obviously, he's huge, isn't he?
Does that picture from Paris?
You need all four of you get together.
Let's do it. Well, actually, me and Nathan had a little chat about that, actually.
Get everybody together.
That'd be quite cool.
But there's only one podcast that will cover it.
Of course.
Obviously.
Absolutely,
so we'll sign the rights to it right now.
So, that picture in Paris, you was in it, weren't you? Yeah. So it was me, Nathan Dorr, yourself, Low Stepper, Ian, Bainsy. Great picture. So, there's a few of us and all doing stuff, and I love seeing the Chris Lorenzo stuff because he's wearing the 92 shirt.
Yeah. He loves wearing the retros.
Away, and he's playing at like festivals of 30,000 people in America. It's amazing to see. He's smashing it.
I need to get him on because I keep messaging him, but he's so busy, he never gets back.
He's over there though, isn't he?
Yeah.
So,
I'll have a word with his sister when I see his sister.
Yeah, do it.
Right, we'll quickly touch on your other passion, as we can see, tattoos.
Yeah.
How did that start?
So tattoos. So Andy, my business partner, he opened a studio in Birmingham. It's really weird, and I've got this saying that everything happens for a reason. And it's so true. I needed a new tattoo artist because the guy that I was using, he'd told me I'd been moving stuff out of his flat the day before, and it was lifting heavy cabinets and God knows what. And the tattoo, it was literally, the line work was so bad, and I was like, I could not believe. When I saw it, I was like, wow. Anyway, so we're not going to go into that. I put a post on Facebook saying I need a new tattoo artist. as a matter of urgency, I need something fixing. I know his wife, Kelly, really well. She said, go see my husband. He's just opened a studio. So I went to see him in Birmingham. He introduced me to this artist. He only had 1 or 2 artists, I think, at the time. He sorted my tattoo out for me. And then we just got chatting. And he was like, you know, what is it you're doing at the minute? I think I was in Ibiza at the time. And he said, when you're back, let's have a chat about maybe getting on the studio together. Because I kind of helped start pushing the studio for him and on social media and got him a few people in. And it kind of just went from there. We opened Vivid Ink in Sutton Coldfield, and then the rest followed essentially. Sutton Coldfield for me personally was the flagship because we tattoo a lot of the Villa players.
Yeah, we're going to come on to that. Villa players.
But yeah, I know. I mean, we've been running those businesses now for 13 years plus, and never look back. Nothing compares in terms of loving what I do there and what we're creating. Just people like yourself, you come in, you want a piece that's got sentiment and something you can look at and be proud of. So to do that's the job satisfaction for me. I love it. So
notable Villa players that you can mention that have come in.
Fabian Delph became a good friend through it. When he was captain of the club. No. I know the full story.
I'm only joking.
He was led down a garden path, believe me.
Right.
And Darren Bent as well, actually.
Right.
Benty was he was actually the first big player, I would say. But Fabian used to book out the studio. He'd phone me up and go, he's a nightmare in his Leeds accent. Bro, can we get the studio on Sunday? We need 7 artists. And I'm like,
7?
hell. Yeah. And,
was that because he just brought a load of people with him?
What he used to do, he'd bring players.
Right, okay.
He'd bring backroom staff.
So you just say, anybody want a tattoo?
And he'd pay for them. So literally, I'd go in on a Sunday, I remember there once, and we'd actually Vivid Ink had just sponsored the Villa Old Stars.
Yeah.
And Tony Daly came in to sign a top for me. And I'll never forget it, he came in. There was Tony Daly, Fabian Delph, Benteke. Oh God, who did we have in? Nathan Baker, Kieran Clark. There was a few. There's a few of them.
Just all piled in on a Sunday?
All in there. We had a picture. There was about 10 Villa players and ex-players and stuff. It was just on a Sunday randomly.
That's incredible.
But he'd just say, he was on Man City money at this point because he carried on paying for them when he left. Oh mate, whatever it costs, you tell the artist, I'll cover it. Good guy, Fabian.
So they was all putting their hands up. Can I come in on that one? Can I come in on Sunday?
I met some very good friends through that who have continued to be friends, and backroom staff who are still there now, as you know.
Yeah.
It's I'd say he was probably one of the best. I'd say he then brought John Stones.
Really?
Down. He was getting tattooed by us. Who else have we got through?
Who would you say is the most famous person that's had the tattoo in Vivid Ink?
Oh, good question. Most famous? I don't actually.
Do you have any actors and stuff coming?
At the time, we did have. We had Joe Hart when he was England goalkeeper.
Nice.
So we had him. He came down, never forget it actually, he came down to Stafford, in fact. He was at the Stafford studio. And the car park is overlooked by a bus stop. So we jumped out of the car and I was watching the camera and I just saw these kids just flood to the wall.
Staring.
And he brought a glove in for me, signed. Yeah. And they're all begging him for this glove and he gave him one of them.
Fair play to him.
He gave me the
They was fighting outside, weren't they, after him?
But he was a nice lad. Who else? In fact, we actually got to go up to... Funny story, actually. So we did that tattoo for him. He then messaged and said, I want to get another one. I need to get it done tomorrow, though. I'm signing from Man City to Torino. He went to Torino on... Was it on loan? Yeah, it was on loan. So I was like, right, okay, let me try and see what I can do. Luckily that day, we'd had a cancellation for the next day. So I drove, Mary, her name was, up to Manchester. He literally wanted a line around his arm. And he said, why there? Put my missus' date of marriage on her ribs. No problem, we did it. As we were sitting there, his missus comes bursting through the door. She's like, you need to come and sort this out. He's like, what? His agent had booked the wrong date for them to fly. He was meant to be signing for Torino the following morning. they put the wrong date or something, and he's like, listen, you can't post that, because if you post that, it's going to look like I've missed my flight because I'm getting tattooed. I was like, no problem, don't worry. And he literally, the same afternoon, we hadn't even got home, and he messaged saying, it's all good, I've sorted it, we're on the next chartered flight. I was like, yeah.
Jesus. The life of a footballer,
I know,
right?
mate,
Jesus
crazy.
Christ.
But in terms of like, I'd say, I mean, we've tattooed Callum Best, we've had one of the Vamps. I don't know much about bands.
No, they're from Sutton, aren't they?
Yeah.
The one kid's from Sutton, isn't he?
Him.
Yeah. I can't think of his name. My daughter met him.
We tattooed him. He actually then come and had some food at Funky Bear as well. There's probably bigger, I'm just kind of on the spot here. I can't think who else we've tattooed, but for me, there's no better feeling than. Do you know what? The the older boys for me. Like, I know Jack. Grealish and all them lads, obviously haven't been tattooed, but I've done some work with him. But for me, like, I get a real sense of excitement when we had Sean Teal in, and we watched the England in the Euros together.
Right.
And that was a bit surreal because
nice guy in his Sean.
Really lovely guy. Still got
very
legs
down to earth.
Like a bull.
Yeah, big calves, and he had massive calves. Yeah.
But yeah, he's a lovely guy, and Ian as well, obviously, Tails. I never forget, I was at Vivid Ink, and that's how we properly met, and I get a phone call. They went, someone's on the phone for you. I went, who is it? It's Ian Taylor. I was like, who? Ian Taylor. I'm thinking, can't be that Ian Taylor.
Yeah.
Hello? He went, Roo, it's Tails. I'm like, all right, mate. He was like, can we have a chat? I went, yeah, can I come and see you? I want to speak to you about something. I went, yeah, cool. That afternoon he comes in, and it was IT7, his headphone brand. He's like, I want someone to kind of like, do a few shots DJing and things like that, and I've got something. There's a car place, I can't remember what it's called now, somewhere in Birmingham, and we did an IT7 kind of showcase. Thing.
I've got some IT7s at home.
Have you? And the problem we had is because it was all Bluetooth, I couldn't use them to DJ.
So you
it's like, right, what can we do? Can you put your headphones under them headphones? I'm like, no, it's not going to work, mate. So we just had to pretend. Yeah, and I did a few things for the brand, and that's how we've become friends since.
Yeah, he's a great guy, isn't he? Yeah, another one that's trying to get on, but he's just busy all the time. He's doing car stuff now as well.
I know,
Jesus Christ.
Too busy for us now.
Yeah, right, we'll leave this bit here. We're now going to move on to the best bit of memorabilia.
Okay.
So we'll see you in a minute. We've been trying to get the angle right here, right? But I'll do some footage. I've got some drone footage which I'll cut in when we're talking. This, if you sit in the Trinity Road stand, you will see where it says Aston Villa Football Club. You've got the massive Aston Villa badge, haven't you, in the middle?
Yeah.
Was this the old one?
That's the old one. So literally, they took that down and put the new one up. So they've still got the Aston Villa, the original, but they've took the emblem down. The crest is now the new one, essentially.
So this is the old crest off the Trinity Road stand, and it is absolutely enormous. And it now sits proudly above Roo's swimming pool.
Yeah.
And it's lit up. So how on earth did you get hold of this?
So a good friend of mine, Samir, who does all the Henson shirts. I'm sure your watchers are going to know who he is. He messaged me out the blue and said, Roo, I've got a special piece for you. He said this a few times. It usually means I've got to remortgage the house. And I went, what is it? And he said, it's the sign for Villa Park. And I'm like, right.
Did you say which sign?
Send me a picture of which sign.
I think it was like a little thing like that.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. It could be anything when it's Samir. Anyway, he sends me that picture, the picture of the Trinity Road stand, and I'm like, right, I want it.
Just get it, yeah.
The money that the person...
So, sorry, on the picture, did you realise the size of it?
No, not at all.
And so where was it when somebody just had it in the back garden?
So basically the guy who was commissioned to take it down had it in his back garden. Nice. And there's a reason why it couldn't stay in the back garden, which I'll go into, which I also was unbeknown until it was delivered and they went and left.
Yeah.
So...
Too late then.
He sends me a picture of that on the actual stand, sends me a picture of it in this guy's back garden in like all these pieces come apart, got all the LED lights in behind. That was on Villa Park for 17 years.
Right. It's in good nick, isn't it?
It's in very good nick.
Years.
I didn't want to check because the guys who put it up, installed it, said, "Oh, change the edge," and I was like, "No, I want it original. I want it exactly how it was on Villa Park."
I suppose it was so old, no one would ever touch it anyway, would they?
Exactly, yeah, it's true. And you know, I mean, we've had some highs, we've had some lows in the time that badge has been up, and it's a massive piece of Villa history, isn't it?
Iconic, yeah.
Crazy.
It's iconic.
So I'm like, right, okay. We had a conversation. The price that the guy wanted, naturally, I was just like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I've got nowhere for it. So I left it. About 4 weeks later, I get another phone call. Sam here. Make him an offer.
He softened a bit.
Make him an offer. So I made him an offer, and he says, yeah, let's do it. Anyway, so
did you know where you was going to put it? No. Okay.
I was putting it in the shed. It was going to go behind there. So my idea was, I've got nowhere for it. Let's just get it, put it away. I've got all the memorabilia. One day maybe I can, you know, display it somewhere. Yeah. I've got that. God knows where I'm thinking I was going to go, but it's
side of the house.
Yeah, side of the house, on the roof. So I say to the missus,
what did she say?
Yeah, she's fuming. So I dropped into a mate. I think I had another football shirt arrive at this point. Yeah. She went, oh, there's another another T-shirt, as she calls them. Another T-shirt.
Sounds like my missus.
Yeah, and it's probably, I think it was like Stan Collymores from the Stade Bucharest game. It's not just any old T-shirt. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm like, yeah, no problem. Just let you know, I bought the sign from Villa Park, the badge off Villa Park. Right. You probably have, knowing you. I'm like, and a few other explicits. And I went, no, I have. So obviously I've told her, I've informed her, carried on about my day. Following Tuesday, she's like, someone's here at the gate. I went, okay, let them in then.
In an articulated lorry?
An articulated lorry. So then we loaded it. I get sent a picture of, so this is a canvas. This part is a canvas.
Right, okay. So the actual, the badge is, got you.
So the whole of that is just like a skin.
Yes.
So they've laid it on the grass in the garden.
Was it at that point you thought, I fucked up?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
With my little goal next to it, and I'm like, oh my God, it's humongous, it's ridiculous. Even up there, you can't really see.
It's hard to give you the enormity of it.
But yeah, when you see it, I mean, there is a video of it going up on my match shirts page, and when you can see when they're putting it together.
That's when I first saw it.
How big it is.
And I thought, what the hell has he done now?
Unbelievable. So then it's on the grass. I said, don't worry, it's going to go in the shed for a rainy day. Message the guys, said, guys, do me a favour, can you roll it up for me and just stick it on the side, because I'm not, you can see it's going to need 2 or 3 people to roll it up. They didn't come back to me, they left. Get a text message an hour later, oh, you can't roll that up, mate. I'm like, why? It has to stay stretched. That will crease and that will...
Ruin it?
Basically, it will crack.
Snap.
So I'm like, where am I going to put this? So the only place I could think it could go was here.
But it's perfect.
Oh, what a great place it is.
Mate, it is absolute. Is there a better roof to a swimming pool ceiling?
It's just made this room 30 times better.
And I suppose, given that you got the very hard structure which you needed, I imagine it's not that heavy though, is it really?
It's heavy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's an aluminium tray, and it's got like...
And it's, I suppose, the size of it makes it, But, so how long did it take to put up?
So they had to get scaffolding across the pool, and it took them. We was actually at the game. Where was we? What game were we at? Oh God, what game we were at? It was Europe. One of the European games.
While they was doing it.
Yeah, while they were doing it. So I'm like on the beers, keep getting these updates, and I'm like, oh my God. And then it took them, I'd say, 8 hours, 3 of them.
Okay.
But then they put it up, left the light on. I got back the next day. I pulled up outside, and I could see it was just pinging.
I bet at night it looks incredible.
It's ridiculous. It lights the whole.
You'll have to send me a picture of it at night, and I'll put it in over the top.
I will do. There's some really nice shots of it actually on my post on my Match Shirts page.
Right,
There's it shows you on Villa Park. It's got a drone going up over it at Villa Park.
Well, funny enough, I went last week and I did a cross of the new one.
Oh right.
The new badge.
No, sorry, I saw.
I was writing on the lion.
Yeah.
And I come right out. So that was the replacement.
The new one's got 3Ds in it. They've actually got it dropped down. It looks really nice. But I mean,
So if anybody's
it's
got
amazing.
a better bit of memorabilia than this, let me know, because I don't think this will ever be beaten.
I know. Well, I actually had something fall through. I was very, very close to buying
Oh, here we go.
the Prince's seats, the leather heated seats that they took out because it's got the old badge on it. So I've done a deal. They were all coming, as far as I was aware. They were going to put them there. So you've got heated seats in the pool with that as well. But then it didn't come with the frame. It was just the padded seats. I found out literally as they were about to leave, and I was like, well, where's the frame? Because I kept saying, pictures, where's the frame? Oh no, the frame's still at Villa Park. And I'm like,
So it's the back and the seat?
So it was just purely the padded seat. But it was like the bottom and the top, because they fold, don't they?
Yeah.
So it just didn't work. But that would have been a very nice addition.
Incredible.
So yeah.
So that's the story of how Rue came to own the Villa sign off the Trinity Road. But now we're going on to the best bit for me, the shirts. So we'll see you in a minute for the shirts. Right. First time I've done one standing up, I think, apart from the thing there. But we have decided this is the way we're going to do it, right? This here isn't even all of his shirts, right? Every single one, if I'm correct, is a match worn.
Yeah.
Either a match worn or a
match worn or an
kit,
issue.
An issue given for a match day.
Yeah, 98% of match worn though.
So, honestly, I do feel like it's Christmas here. We're going to try and get through all of them if we can.
We can do it.
Where do you want to start? I'll be led by you.
Let's just go. Let's just dive in, yeah. Let's just dive in.
Right, this is an iconic one because of the actual...
The yoghurt.
The yoghurt, but they also... it's very sought after, isn't it, this pattern?
100%. I mean, Mark Bosnich for me, this is definitely match worn against Coventry City. By the way, before we go any further, let me just say, we can... if all the match details of all of these shirts are all on my Aston Villa match shirts.
Yes, I did want to say that. So go to, what's it called?
Aston Villa match shirts.
Aston Villa match shirts on Instagram.
Instagram, yeah. So Aston Villa _match shirts.
So go and follow Rue on that, because it's brilliantly set out. All the shirts are on, and the pictures of the players wearing the shirts as well.
Full details, videos of the game sometimes.
Yeah, so if you want to go and delve deeper into his collection, that is the place to go. So this is just a highlight reel. I asked him just to get his best shirts out, and I've turned up, and these are incredible. But yeah, the Muller yogurt is obviously special, isn't it?
Yeah. This shirt for me is special. It takes me back to the good old days from when I was a kid in the Holt End, standing, watching the games. And this screams Tranmere Rovers to me.
Yes, it does, yeah. The
penalty
penalty
win. I mean? And I know we didn't wear this. It didn't wear this shirt in this particular game. This was Coventry City. We only wore this shirt in 3 games.
Right.
And the yoghurt was added for advertisement reasons.
Yeah. There's not many with yoghurt on.
No.
I've had one done with that put on, especially. Yeah.
They're a special shirt.
Yeah.
It just, it really is, and obviously...
I tell you what strikes me, we just said, it's an extra large. Now, Bozzy can't be that big.
It was small, wasn't it? If you look at the photographs of the game...
They're hanging off him, aren't they?
Massive.
So he obviously likes an oversized shirt, so...
Tight shorts, massive
tight shorts,
tucked in.
Big top.
Tucked in.
So that's number 1.
Great shirt.
I don't know. I'm just going to put them over here so we know what we've spoken about. Right, number 2.
So, yeah, Brian Little. So this is a match-worn Brian Little. Again, these shirts are...
That's stitched in.
Yeah, stitched in.
So you've got, back in the day, all the numbers were stitched. I suppose they were machine stitched in, weren't they?
Yeah.
But the nice thing about these shirts, Rue, is they're not been washed.
No,
unwashed. So that's unwashed Brian Little, Umbro. And what was you saying about this?
So basically, when we played in any of the, I think it was cup games, we had to cover the Umbro.
So underneath that, it's the Umbro,
You can see, if you look behind... Where is it? I just saw it when you was looking at it.
It might be when I go inside.
Inside, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually. You can see the Umbro underneath it.
Yes, there it is, look.
So rather than...
So the Umbro is there, but it's just been taped over for the television purposes.
In later years, they used to actually change detailing on shirts. So the Reebok would be smaller, bigger, But they just used to cover it with gaffer tape.
Look at the quality of the badge. And also, we've just said about how big Bozzy's shirt was. How small is
Smaller
that?
were, yeah. I mean, Brian's obviously a way smaller guy, but still, they wore them very short.
Well, I held Peter Withs when I interviewed him, and that was tiny.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's quite a big guy.
I've got a Peter With one here.
So he must be like wearing skin tight. Right.
As you just mentioned, the guy. So Peter With.
A beaut. One of the greats.
This,
I mean,
this is my favourite shirt. This is.
Do you know why? It's a lot of people's favourite, but it's a lot of people, they don't like it.
Yeah, really?
They don't like it.
I don't get that.
Because I think it was... no, it wasn't this one, was it? It was the one that didn't have the badge on.
Yeah.
There was one without a badge on, wasn't it?
That's, we've got that in this.
Yeah.
We've got it here to show you in a second.
But now looking at this, you
one.
know... That's the one, yeah, sorry, because it was AVFC, wasn't it? But I'm seeing now Luke Roper's shirt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. I think that was based a little bit on
If you look at... If I just showed you that, you would say... That's the Luke Roper.
Because of the version without the mitre, and you look at it and it is basically is.
I've never seen that before.
But what I love about this is the number. I just think the number's so special.
Again, Lecoq Sportif. They don't really do Lecoq Sportif nowadays.
No.
But again, the specialness of like the stitching of the number. Nowadays, everything's printed, isn't it? But these days, everything was stitched in, which again makes them very special, doesn't it? So that was Peter Withs, was it?
Yeah, it's Peter Withs match worn.
Jesus.
He's seen it. He's actually liked it as well on the on the page.
Where are we going next?
Let's go backwards and forwards in time. So another very special. It's a Muller. It's a yogurt. This Asics shirt for me was one of the best.
The condition of these are in there.
Yeah.
It's brand new. It's literally brand new. So who's
it's
that?
Phil King.
Phil King, famous for, if you remember, scoring the winning penalty against Inter Milan.
And look at the size of it again.
What size is that one? That's an XL, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, but we're going into the Premier League area where obviously badges are pressed on, although the actual Villa crest are still stitched in.
Yeah.
Which makes
that
them
was
nice.
the difference between those and the commercial shirts. They were
padded.
padded.
And weirdly, the King is pressed on and the 15 is stitched on.
Yeah, I found that a lot. I've got an old Barrett with the same with the Asics.
I wonder whether
shirt.
they just produced them with the numbers on, and then the players decided what numbers they were going to pick, and that to press them maybe.
Potentially. The old Barrett one I've got, every letter is stitched.
Is it?
Yeah, every letter. Randomly.
I've got a special affinity with Earl Barrett. I like Earl Barrett.
Oh, me. Great.
Now
great
this
defender.
one, weirdly, this morning I was looking at some comments, and one of the comments on when I teased you coming on today, on this episode here, somebody said that this was their favourite shirt.
Away shirt, 100. I was actually speaking to Stan Collymore when we were in Bruges, actually, and we were talking about this.
He's got one of these, hasn't he? Or a retro.
Yeah, we had a chat. I was trying to swap him for one of his Liverpool shirts, actually, for one of these. I've actually got two of these. I've got 14 and 15. But I bought 15 out for today.
Has he got an original?
No, his is not original.
Because I've got one which is a remake.
He's a remake. And I was trying to swap him one of these, but again, this was European.
Again,
worn shirt.
That has obviously been washed, and it's slightly leaked, hasn't it? The colour, but that's original, isn't it? That's what makes 100%. It special.
But the thing about these shirts is those old. I speak to the players from back in the day, in them days. Whereas the players these days have 3 or 4 shirts per game issued, these had 3 or 4 shirts per season.
So would they be given one at the start of the season? The 3 at the start of the season?
They'd give them one, they'd wear it to death, give them another one, wear it to death. They'd have like 2 to 3, 3 to 4 shirts per season.
That's a medium.
And that's why they were battered, to be honest.
Absolutely mind-blowing.
So this shirt here, again, that one you've just looked at there is super rare. This is super rare. You just do not see these match worns.
And signed.
signed by pretty much every single player.
Again, that's what I said. A lot of fans don't like this shirt from that era
because of the AVFC.
Because it didn't have the Villa badge on it. But
we actually did it because the club had no money to produce the badge properly. That's what. That's
is that what it was?
Behind it, yeah. So we just put this on as a cheap shirt.
Cheap shirt.
And then so this actually, it's so weird. This shirt turned up on eBay. I had about eBay. 30 people inboxed me saying, you need to look at this shirt. I contacted the guy. He is a shirt collector. He's got loads of shirts from all over the world. We did a deal on it. It was up for £7,500. I didn't pay that. We did a deal on the shirt. I waited it out for about 2 months, and I said, "Listen, I'll do you this. I'll do you this figure. If you want it, come back to me." Came back to me 2 months later. I said, "Right, I'm coming to London to see it. I'm not just going to buy it. I want to see it." So I went to see him, and he told me. So we did the deal. I left. He texted me and he told me he found it in a charity shop.
After you bought it?
After I bought it. In a charity shop in... Where was it? I cannot even think of the country.
Oh, abroad?
Abroad.
Jesus Christ.
Now, it checks out because, let's be honest, I mean, the number shows straight away.
Yeah, yeah.
And then...
Oh, no, you can tell it's original.
All of the autographs.
I mean, that's an XL, but that's a modern medium, isn't it?
Oh, 100%.
It's definitely a modern medium.
At the most.
Yeah. But like I say, look, these shirts aren't cheap. Let's put it out there.
Yeah.
They're not cheap. But for a collector like Rue and other people that do collect, for not just Villa, but for like any club, they are an investment. They're not going to lose value, are they?
The only other person I know is Dave Hitchman. He's got one of those shirts.
Dave Hitchman's got a fantastic collection, as well, of shirts. But they are an investment.
Yeah.
Especially like this quality and this. Do you know who all the signatures are?
No. I mean, that shirt, I used to have the stickers, the Panini stickers on my door when I was like 7.
Yeah.
So that always reminds me of those days.
You're as old as me, that's why I keep forgetting. We're old buggers.
Another very special shirt. So first and foremost, one of my top 3 shirts of all time in terms of style.
Is this one of your top... Oh, right,
in terms of style.
Yeah.
But in terms of like favourable shirts, I mean, Alan McAnally. I mean, what a shirt that is.
Rambo.
At Rambo. And again... This came, I mean, it's a bit battered.
Yeah, but again...
Do I want to wash it? No chance.
Absolutely not.
It was actually framed and it was taken out of a frame. Again, you just do not see, for some reason, you do not see these shirts match worn anymore. Signed by Alan as well. He actually liked that one as well.
I would agree with you on the style shirt, and I think I've said this a few times now. I love the modern Adidas shirts, and this season's is lovely. Last season's was nice.
Yeah.
I just wish we'd do something a bit different with the home shirt.
Yeah, I agree.
I know we tend to do this with the third. We put a wacky third out, and the aways sort of fed into the history of the club. But these, I mean, obviously the most famous shirt this was the Danish shirt when it won the Euros.
Yeah.
But I just want something a bit different,
Just do something like this.
Yeah, I mean, you've got like the Essex.
Yeah.
You've got. A lot of this one here as well.
Yeah.
Which is
the
just
Umbro.
The Umbro.
Special shirt. That is. That's one of the best shirts we've had again.
Yeah.
What a stunner.
It's just that was my first ever shirt.
So
I wish they'd do something a bit different.
I agree. I do totally agree. But yeah, so like I say, you just don't see these. And when I saw it on eBay, I was like, right, I'm buying that. And the shirt came a little bit more battered than you'd expect, but. Again, it was probably worn 10 times by Alan himself. So,
as we know, there was no shrinking violet, was he, Alan McAnally?
No.
Right, one that I actually wore on the pod the other day, which is an original from the time, not a match worn original, I will add that. Liverpool, FA Cup, the only time this shirt was ever worn.
Yeah, it was, yeah. What a shirt as well. So yeah, Daly and Atkinson, this one.
A beaut. Yes, I will. So Daly and Atkinson wore this shirt in that...
We didn't wear this in that game.
No.
So it was the Barclays Premier League badge we used in that game.
Right.
So this was, again, made for the following season. So this is a match issue only, this one.
Right. They never wore it again, did they?
No. So like I say, we printed it as our third shirt. Never wore it. And I just don't get it. What a stunning shirt.
There wasn't third kits in them days, though, was there?
No, there wasn't.
There wasn't that many of them knocking about.
Because that wasn't even spoken about. When we wore that day, it just came from nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah,
And you know what I noticed as well? Have you ever noticed?
It's see-through in it.
What's that, sorry?
It's like material, very thin, isn't
I've only just... someone pointed this out to me.
Go on.
The badge, have you noticed the lion is not actually lined up with the badge? They've done it, so the Aston Villa's there. Obviously, Aston Villa's normally there.
It's like offset,
It's offset, yeah. I'd never noticed that.
No, I hadn't either.
But as far as shirts go...
Again, the number.
What a shirt.
Just beautiful.
One of my favourite, again... There's so many favourite shirts.
I think probably what they did was, if you're thinking about the Premier League, is they probably thought, well, because we only wore it once, They probably wanted to knock a load out that they'd probably bought.
Yeah, yeah.
And they thought, we'll have it as the sort of official
third, but never ever actually
but
wore
didn't ever have to probably wear it,
We've done it a few times. We did it with the black Nike, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Remember the black Nike? We never
Got
ever
that
wore.
one, yeah, I like that.
I've got a Gareth Barry in that one.
Of course you have.
So, again, special shirt. You just don't see
the away
these.
now of that Hummel.
And again, the difference is the stitched badge, the number. Weirdly, these numbers are all printed. I actually
come printed, aren't
yeah, I actually traded this for a number 13, which I had. That one wasn't match worn. This one is match worn.
Do you know what I really like on these ones? And I got TK, shout out TK, the printing guy. I really love the old Football League patches,
Yeah, it's
which
great,
was
fully embroidered.
pre-Premier League, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
They're absolutely beautiful. I'll show that there. I think I've had a couple of shirts with them put on, but yeah. Again,
And obviously the Hummel chevron as well with the remakes.
Yeah,
you just don't get that. It just
I have
adds
got
to
a
the
remake
shirts,
with that
doesn't it?
on now. They did make some because I had
Oh,
one.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I bought two, and basically because I can't get these as like rocking horse, you know.
Yeah.
And the first ones they did were just that, without the chevrons on the arms. And then after I bought two, they made them with the chevrons
Really?
on. So I had to get rid of them
wow.
two and bought.
Get
And
the
I've had 8 and 9 on. So
Yeah.
Shaw and McAnally.
McAnally,
Yeah. Incredible shirts.
Let's go for a goalkeeper shirt.
Oh, here we go. Now, no, that just screams
Who's your bet?
Nigel Spink.
Yeah.
Absolutely Spinky.
What a shirt. This was worn in European game. I forget the game.
I'm
Detail
interviewing
again,
him
it's
soon. Do
on
you want me to
there.
sign it for you?
So again.
I'm interviewing him soon. Do you
Oh
want me
yeah,
to sign it
actually
for you?
mate, I will, you know.
Yeah, let me know.
There's always a big debate about whether people, you know, think that it adds or loses value.
Really?
I think it adds.
Surely,
it almost authenticates.
was that
the
his shirt?
That's his shirt, yeah.
So
Again, all the match
again,
details are
go
on
on
there.
to. I've seen this picture on your on your Instagram, and there's a picture with him wearing this. Now this, I'm going to say it. Well, this is my favourite goalkeeper shirt
Just
of all
original OG green.
It's a
Love it. Proper goalkeeper
old
shirt.
school.
Padded
It's got
arms.
the padded arms, so you know when they're diving about, you don't get that now, do you?
They don't
Padded
need, do they,
arms.
with the turf
Yeah,
these
I
days? You
suppose
remember
so.
remember the beach at Villa Park?
The beach. The old clip fasten,
Yeah.
double XL.
Massive.
Out
He
of-
was a big lad though, when he Nigel.
Out
Even
of
back
all
then.
of the shirts that you own, if ever I could own one,
That's it.
this would be the one.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's a great shirt.
So if you ever sell it,
I actually know someone selling one. We'll talk after.
don't tell the missus.
It's slightly different. The mitre copiers is slightly smaller. And this is the thing, there was like so
it
many
this size?
tiny, yes, it was Nigel's pink shirt, same season. I was offered it, but
Don't tell anybody that.
I was offered it. I would have
Cut
had it
that
a
bit
year
out.
ago, but now I've slowed down. I just don't need
Is
it.
it still for sale?
Yeah.
Right. We're
We'll
cutting the
call him
video here.
So, Steve Staunton.
I think that is my favourite all-time home shirt.
Yeah, I love this shirt.
I love the Luke one, but I think
this
because
shirt.
it was my first one.
Yeah.
No, sorry, that's my second shirt. I had the one before that.
Yeah.
I can't think of the bloody year. It's gone.
What a
But
shirt,
yeah,
though.
This. When I was a kid, I used to draw. I'm not a very good drawer, but I used to try and draw. And this shirt, because of these here, I used to try and draw them.
Yeah.
Put the pattern on it.
What I love about them is, look at the detail. Let me just turn this inside out. The detail in the way, it's all panelled. It's not even like, these days you get a shirt and it's got a front,
one
it's got a
piece.
back,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
got
it's just a one
two
piece.
arms. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Weirdly looks like the stained glass window at the Alton.
It does, yeah, doesn't it? But look at the you know,
Look at the detail.
the workmanship that's gone into
Yeah.
that.
I mean, obviously
Individual
the
panel.
fan shirts didn't look like that.
No,
but
no,
obviously
they
the
were just
player
one
shirts
piece,
are all
weren't they?
different panels.
It's almost like you've thought about this, isn't it? That is incredible, isn't it? Steve Staunton, he's another player that I'm talking to. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's
You
not
need to
far from here now, is he?
No. So you need to give me all the shirts that you
Yeah.
want signing,
I
and
will
I'll
do,
try and
mate.
get him to sign for
We'll
you.
do for sure.
Stan the man. Would you say best ever left back at Villa?
Yeah.
I can't think of many. The four. In
Scored some
fact,
screamers for us from there as well,
on the
didn't
pod, we're doing every Monday on my phone. We're doing. I'm trying to create a 15, so 11 and 5 sub 16, and the best manager ever, and we're just voting every week, just something a bit fun. And we're going on to right backs next week, so left back will be after 2, 3. We're going to go properly through the numbers. And left backs and right backs, it's difficult to say who was the best, do you think?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But I think Staunton, I loved Alan Wright.
I loved Alan Wright. Got up for a little fella, didn't
Freddie
he?
Boomer. Oh, yeah. Freddie Boomer, but he didn't have a lot of time at Villa.
Was you there when that happened? Horrible.
Darius Kabicki, remember him? Right back.
I've actually got a shirt of his in it.
Jesus Christ. I think we'll just take it for red. Every player I mention, there's a shirt of his here. Right, here we go.
So yeah, champions of Europe. A little bit of damage to the number.
Right, so
let me do a bit of talking. Let me just look at this. I can't think who it was on this
one. Particularly, would it be Ken McNaught?
No.
No.
Let me have a look.
This one feels a little bit more modern, doesn't it?
Yes.
When you go back to like this era of shirt, they're normally quite hard feeling, but this one feels quite very stretchy as well for an older shirt. But again,
we don't actually have
beautiful embroidered Villa, the Coq Sportif.
We don't actually know on this one.
No,
because I think but then in them days there wasn't really an assigned number, was there?
No, they all wore sort of. Well, yeah, it was 1 to 11.
Yeah.
So basically, whoever played on the day.
What of them shirts?
Yeah, so it would have probably been Ken McNaught one week, or Alan Evans maybe, or. But a lovely shirt, but a lovely material. Really nice material. Must have been nice to play in that.
What as a player would you go long sleeve or short sleeve?
Do you know what? I've bought a long sleeve this year.
Have you? The new home?
I wasn't huge. I'm not saying I wasn't a huge fan of long sleeve, but I thought, you know what? Because it's the first time we've had one for a long time.
Yeah.
I went and I tried both on. I'll probably end up buying the short sleeve when it comes down in price a bit at the end of the season. But I quite like the long sleeve because I think in England, how many good days do we get of weather? And you know, I'm quite a hot person, so a long sleeve probably will cover me for a lot of games.
Yeah.
But no, that is beautiful.
Nice shirt.
Really nice.
Should we go a bit more?
You pick.
Today. Right. So these are shirts with a nice storyline behind them. So this is Malberg. Do you remember when we beat Blues and he came off and he did the whole end? Yeah. That's the shirt.
That's the shirt.
That's the shirt. So I bought some of Tony Lightwood's collection again from Division Retro. I bought some of his collection. This was one of them. Again, it's on the page. It's got all the on my profile. If you have a look, it's got all the pictures from the games. They all photo match. So yeah, great. Great day that was. Was it 5-1?
I've got one of his that, you know, when he gave them away at the end of the season when he left.
Yeah. Thanks for your support.
Thanks for the memories or something.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for your support. That was it. Yeah. Melberg, thanks for your support.
Yeah.
And I managed to get hold of one of them. Obviously, it wasn't a match one, but it was just ones that I think he put them on. Was it West Ham away? I've got a feeling it was. I'm sure someone will correct me, but he had one on every seat for the away game.
Yeah. Now we get flags.
Now we get little flags, yeah.
Oh, God.
Happy clappers.
Okay, so this has got a really nice storyline behind it.
Love Uncle Albert.
Do you remember the Leeds game where we scored? And there was that whole controversy thing, then... Is it Basielka? What's his name? The manager?
Bielsa. Yeah.
Bielsa made them score.
He made them take.
Almo scored the. Sorry, Adoma scored the goal. Remember, he tapped it in. Yeah. So. And
one of the defenders tried to tackle him, didn't they?
So the special thing about this is, I messaged Jack Grealish prior to this game, 3 weeks before, because my daughter came a C-section.
Right.
On this day. So I messaged Jack and I said, Jack, I need your shirt, please, from the Leeds game. Yeah, no worries, geez, I'll sort it for you, as he does. About 2 weeks later, gets a message after all you forget, don't you, when you have a kid, everything changes. I couldn't be at the game. I watched the game on the little monitor next to my wife. She didn't realise that. And so basically, Jack messaged me saying, I've got your shirt. Went and picked the shirt up. It's actually in a room in there, framed. But then I was offered this following that about a year later, and he scored the goal. It's the day my daughter was born, and it's the goal scorer. So I've got Jack's and
not only match worn, but a very iconic game, wasn't it, in that run?
It was.
It's in great condition as well, isn't it? Fantastic.
What a shirt as well, as in like stylistically, what a great shirt.
Albert has agreed to come on the pod, but he did say he's got to wait till he's retired. So it might be another 5 years away he's going,
Yeah, I suppose it's all about sponsorships and stuff.
Yeah.
I love how we always give him a great reception at Walsall every
Brilliant
time.
was. It
Great,
was,
isn't
yeah. And I tell you what, he's still a player.
Oh, 100%.
At that level.
He is.
Them badges are they're like rubber, aren't they?
Yeah. Very different, aren't they, the player shirts to the
they're
to
really
the fan
nice
shirts.
quality. Again, one of the all-time greats, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Luke has agreed to come on the pod as well. Another
Yeah.
one. There's another. To talk about how all this came about.
Yeah.
And the whole story.
I wish we still had Luke, I'll be
design,
honest. I think
process
his
and
shirts were
everything.
amazing.
So that'll be an interesting one.
Okay, so another storyline shirt. So who remembers when John Carew scored the goal against... Was it Blues again? He picked the ball boy up.
The ball
Blues,
boy,
wasn't it? Yeah. Sorry, I should have really reviewed
don't
all
worry,
this
I'm
stuff.
sure
But
you
I've
got
just
enough
been so
shirts to
crazy busy.
remember.
Yeah, so he picked the ball boy up and there's a picture of him.
It's a very famous picture.
That's the shirt again. That come from, again, Tony Lightwood's collection.
Where did he get them from?
He was collecting at one point and he was doing it for his son, and his son just wasn't interested in the shirts. He wanted more of he was getting more excited about the new stuff. Yeah. So he sold me a few, and he started off my collection, if I'm being honest.
John Carew. Again.
Great shirt.
Still got the mud on the pitch from hammering the Blue now, scumbags. Sorry, Blues. No, I'm not really.
Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.
Okay, let's have let's go this one.
Again, another apps. This
So
is what I'm on
Dalian
about.
Atkinson, Wimbledon. Who remembers the goal? The goal. Well, this is the shirt. So yeah, Dalian Atkinson versus Wimbledon. Dribbles past 5 players from his own box, and then chips the keeper. Dean Saunders picks up the umbrella. What a shirt.
I've told her I was at this game, Wimbledon away, Selhurst Park. There was no roof on the away end. It was pissing down the rain. We got absolutely soaked. I used to go with my brother and my 2 mates, and every away game, Richard buy. This is aside from it. We'd go to a chip. He'd have chips and a sausage, and he'd drop the sausage every away game. Every single away game, he's pissed himself laughing. So if you're watching, Rich. So I was at this game, and it was just at the time we realised it was an amazing goal, obviously because he ran past everyone, and at the end the presence of mind to lift it over the keeper, and that iconic celebration with the umbrella. And the very next away game, Sheffield Wednesday away, me and my brother was sat in front of that guy.
Oh really?
With
the guy with the umbrella?
He was the miserablest sod I've ever met in my life, because we were standing up and cheering, and he kept telling us to sit down. Sit down, sit down. Yeah, that's a funny story. But that, again, what I was saying earlier was, do something different.
Yeah.
Do something. Why do you have to have all these shirts that are just the same across every club? I understand it's the policy of the big manufacturers.
No, I agree.
But iconic. I mean, at the time, I think it was maybe the first season of the Premier League.
Yeah.
Possibly around that time.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. And we did all that before the start of the season. But the laces.
Yeah.
Going back to when shirts were first made back in the 1800s, whatever it was, late 1800s. That shirt.
What a player as well, Dalian.
I'm going to ask you a favour about this shirt in a minute.
Okay.
But we'll do it off air.
What a player though, Dalian. I actually met him. He came to one of my events, Rock and Roller, and we were talking about that game. Really nice guy. So, stylistically, again, one of my favourites of all time.
Yeah.
Again, edition. We never actually wore this shirt in the Muller yogurt, only in the original Muller. So this was printed again for commercial reasons. Yeah. Never wore it. So Gary Parker.
There is, like you say, there's some pictures out there, I think, of doing stuff for Muller, wasn't it? I think they all stood on the pitch with the Muller yogurt on.
There's one with the yogurt as well. But so again, like I say, we wore the home Muller yogurt, I think, 4 times. And that one was never worn.
Tell you what, Gary Parker, one of the most underrated midfielders.
Great defender, great midfielder for Villa. Great midfielder.
Rarely gets talked about when people say good, solid midfielder, goal scorer, scored some absolute bangers. And again, a shirt that I think at the time split opinion, didn't it? Going weirdly straight to a black, red, and
I love it.
And I worked in the club shop at this time.
Oh really?
Yeah, I had 2 seasons, match day in the club shop. And I went on work experience at first, and it was the old club shop. We used to walk down the steps to the little one by the Trinity in the corner. And I remember vividly, when you walk into the shop, on the right-hand side, there was like a wall like this, and then the shop would then go back and the counter was at the back.
I remember.
And we had a load of these up at the front.
Yeah.
And we was all working, and it wasn't that busy. And then we came, I think me and the lad went out to the shop to have a look round, tidy it up, and a whole rack of these had disappeared. So someone had unhooked the rack and walked out the shop.
Do you remember the whole thing, the debacle with the Muller?
Well, when I worked at the shop, right, when these came out, we didn't have a sponsor.
Didn't have them, yeah.
No. So we sold these without sponsors.
And I loved it without the sponsor.
Yeah, I've got one at home.
Yeah.
And we told everybody, when the sponsor comes, you can come back and have it printed on.
Yeah.
Now, that was a nightmare because everybody came back and wanted the shirt printed with the Muller on the top. But yeah,
it's great. But then they all started to peel as well. They all peeled off as well. I remember that.
But it became, as you can see with my
iconic. Again, this reminds me of Tranmere. We were against Tranmere away, didn't we?
Yeah, 3-1.
Yeah.
I was at that game as
well. What a game. That was hammering it down that night as well, wasn't it?
Atkinson's last minute goal. Yeah. And we all celebrated that like we won the game. Because we realised the importance of it.
I've got Dalian's shorts from that game, randomly. Yeah.
Oh, they're massive, are they?
They're actually not, believe it or not. I found that the players all wanted big shirts, but little shorts.
Wonder why?
Okay, let's go.
Butte.
Yeah. So I always get the name wrong.
Breitkreutz. Matthias Breitkreutz and Stefan Beinlich, the two German players that we signed. Yeah.
Beinlich, yeah.
Beinlich and Breitkreutz. Now I've told Rue, I've got one of these. I think I've got 2, maybe, or 3 match worn, which I bought off a friend of mine years and years ago. And it was worn by Dwight York in a pre-season friendly. Now, there's no way of authenticating that because there was no names on the back.
Yeah.
But his dad played in an Old Stars game, and they wore that shirt, I think. And Dwight York was playing for some reason. We're talking 30 years, 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But it is exactly the same as this. Like you were saying earlier, that individually stitched in.
Yeah.
Because I've got my original from the time, which is just a one piece. And then I've got this one, which has got the beautiful Football League badges on again.
And one that everyone actually realises, when we changed to the Premier League, the blue is darker. This is lighter. If you look, there's a darker version, a lighter version.
But again, one of the most iconic Villa. I think this was my first season when I bought shirts. I'd love them to bring something like this back because when you look back, they do sometimes go back, don't they?
Yeah.
But whether Adidas would be able to do that, I don't know.
As you can see, I absolutely loved.
Do you like classics?
Classics, yeah. Okay, this is a special one. Again, though, bench worn, Coca-Cola Cup final, Wembley. 1994.
You know what? I didn't even know he was on the bench.
Yeah.
Breitkreutz. I mean, Christ, you just about got his name on there, didn't you? Just about stretched across.
It's a big name, isn't it?
20 Breitkreutz. I think he went on to have a half-decent career, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know whether Beinlich did.
I just love the embroidery on this because, again, the fans was just like a padded badge, wasn't it?
It was just like a stuck-on thing, wasn't it? But this is like, if I can get it into the... That's poor from me, that is. Right, there you go, that's better. Beautiful. And again, a lovely badge.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been through that many badges, haven't we?
Yeah.
So many incarnations of it.
94 Wembley, was you at that game?
Yes.
What a night, what a day that was. Day and night.
I said on pod the other day, actually, the first 3 times I went to Wembley, we won. I thought, this is great. Every time Villa come to Wembley, we just win.
Yeah.
You can clean these, but not...
Really?
You know, you've got because they're that like a material, because I've got one of these, but there's like a way to just gently get all that off, and they come up brilliant.
Really nice.
Yeah, lovely.
Great shirt. I thought I have actually got a Hugo Ekiag 96 shirt. I thought I brought it down, but I didn't. What you're seeing here is 20 of 250.
250?
250 I've got, yeah. And of
all
them,
match worn?
Yeah, apart from probably... Things like
but they're all player issue, aren't they? Yeah.
Dalian Atkinson again. In fact, we'll do the 2 together actually.
Oh, now you're talking.
Dino and Dalian, same season. Match worn, signed by Dino. Didn't get round to getting Dalian to sign it, sadly.
What a shame.
But yeah.
They are brilliant. I mean, what a pairing.
Unbelievable.
Do you remember when Saunders signed and Big Ron went on the pitch the game before to tell all the fans?
Yeah.
He's like, because everyone was like, because it was dragging on and on and on and on. And he come on and he got the microphone and said, "We will sign him. It's happening next week." Man, you wouldn't get that now.
No, yeah.
Imagine you and I getting on the pitch going, "We're going to get him. It's all right. Everyone calm down."
We're just waiting on an email back,
Yeah,
and we're
but just like again the long sleeve, lovely.
Great shirt.
But to have the matching pair, 9 and 10, Saunders and Atkinson.
Great.
You've done me proud here, Ruth.
And the creme de la creme, mate.
No, this one, right? Before he shows you, this one, he showed me when I first arrived. Very emotional, actually. Very emotional.
So, yeah, European Cup final. One of 23, I think it was, shirts made. Now, this is Gary Shaw's issued. However, he wore the long sleeve.
So players would have had a short and a long sleeve issued to them for the game.
For the game.
And then choose what they wanted to wear.
What they wanted to wear. He was wearing this up until the last minute, and he wore the long sleeve.
So he took it off?
He took it off, put the long sleeve on. It's all, again, the whole story's there. This has come from a very well-known collector, this has. And I was battling with him for nearly a year to let me have this. And the differences are, I mean, look at that. You can see it's almost like a silk-like.
Yeah. But like I say, the shirt, I said to Rude before, my first ever interview was Peter Witt.
Yeah.
And he's got his shirt from the final.
The differences are this little...
It's like silk, isn't it?
Motif logo, yeah.
It's very thin, but like very stretchy.
Shirt.
But to have Gary Shaw's shirt after what happened, obviously.
Literally, he died 2 weeks after I got hold of this shirt.
What a shame. What a guy. I mean, the 8 will always be iconic now at Villa, won't it?
Yeah. But what a shirt. But like I say, the thing is...
Would you say that's your number one?
I'll say my number one's Peter With, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I just love the shirt. But this is obviously a very special shirt because it's from the biggest game in Villa's history, of course. But the beauty about this shirt is it's been well documented that there are not many of them left now because they all gave them to the players. They all swapped shirts. If you look at the pictures now from back in the day, they're all wearing their shirts.
I'm going to talk to Dennis after this.
Yeah.
And I've done a bit of research for it, and he can't get his shirt back. He doesn't know.
That's what I mean. They all went.
Yeah.
And there's probably, I think, from what I was talking to Peter With's son, and apparently there's about 6 that they know of. That's one of them. So.
I mean, Spinky tells a brilliant story, and I'll get him to tell it when I talk to him.
I've heard this story.
About how he went and got his shirt back.
Yeah, when he got it back.
And he took the German shirt over in a plastic bag to Bayern Munich, and then they give this big, I'll give the story, the big like welcome dinner and everything, and his shirt was all in a presentation box. And they said, "Where's the Bayern Munich one?" He just got this plastic bag from, I don't know, where one of the supermarkets or something.
We had him at one of the restaurants in Tamworth.
He's a great guy, yeah.
Some of the stories he's got. Amazing.
I just haven't got, honestly, mate, I've got that many interviews to do. I haven't got time to get everybody in, but this has been incredible, honestly. I think we might be doing a part 2 of this.
I was going to say, maybe one day we'll just get the whole lot out and we just talk about it for an hour and a half because there's so many shirts, and I'm like looking, going, oh, maybe I should use that one, maybe I should use that one. But it's whittling them down to 20,
story, hasn't it?
Every
like
single shirt.
So, I mean...
There's a lot of new, the more up-to-date modern shirts as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to get the Ollie Watkins and the Matthias Tell match worn.
Yes, I've done some video of that. They're over there. And in fact, while we're talking about it, so you've got... say what they are.
So basically, we've got the Ollie Watkins match worn from the Bayern Munich game where we beat them 1-0, the first Champions League game at Villa Park in... how many years was it?
40-odd years.
Yeah. And obviously Duran scored that absolute screamer. And then I was offered the Matthias Tell one as well following that. So I've got 2 match worns from the same game. And Ollie's is unwashed as well. So yeah,
so
I got that shirt again.
It's in a box,
I got it the day after. It smells of oud.
Does it? Yeah.
So yeah, both boxed and very special, sentimental shirts for obvious reasons.
And you'll see over this video that they are beautifully presented. So, I need to up my presenting game. I think of how I put my shirts out. Look, Roo, it's been a long time coming.
A long time, yeah.
I appreciate you spending time with me today. I know you're a really busy guy. But it's been honestly incredible. For somebody that collects Villa memorabilia, who loves Villa like you do, to see these shirts, hold them, feel them, talk about them.
Yeah.
So many iconic I mean, the iconic nature of a lot of them shirts is just incredible.
Yeah. No, I felt very. I mean, it was 2 years of like being a bit of a geek, if I'm being honest.
But you have to,
getting
you almost
hold of
have
them.
to just immerse yourself in it, don't
And
you?
it's like photo matching, like the stuff. I mean, we're a year on from when I probably last brought a shirt, if I'm thinking right.
But the missus is pleased.
Oh yeah, she loves it. She does. So yeah, I mean, you know, like I say, the best thing to do if you want full history and information on these shirts, go and have a look at Match Shirts, Aston Villa _Match Shirts. It's all there. But let's do a part 2 at some point.
Yeah, I tell you what, get involved in the comments. If you want to see another video with more of these amazing shirts, we'll come back and we'll do another one. I'd like to see them, so I might just do the video for myself, to be honest, and just watch it at home. But yeah, appreciate your time,
no
mate.
problem, mate. It's been a pleasure. Congratulations on the channel as well. It's great. Love what you're doing. Love what you're doing, mate.
You're a good mate.
And look how slim he is, everyone. It's looking great.
So the next tattoo I've got to book in now after we finish as well, so that's coming here, but I won't tell you who that is. I'll tell Rue. Up the Villa.
Cheers, guys. Up the Villa. Up the Villa.